Hey everyone, Grayson the Bard here, and welcome back to day 132 of the Hunt-A-Day. We are jumping from one spider to the next in today's video, talking about Rakna Kadaki, or as is very fun to say in my Midwest Wisconsin accent, Rakna Kadaki. Geez, don't you know we're gonna be busting this spider up real good, gotta take it down to town and, cut it all up right in front of its crying children. You can say anything in a Midwest dialect, and it just sounds like so cheerful and friendly. Today we're fighting Rakna Kadaki, and I really like this monster. There is not a single spider monster in the series that I don't like. Aside from, there was a comment yesterday, I completely forgot Shrouded Nursilla exists. So I guess I can kind of count that as a monster I don't like because it is a subspecies that I completely forgot about. And I also feel really bad that I forgot about Rakna Kadaki when I was doing my theme week of the Monster Hunter Rise yokai monsters, because Rakna Kadaki is based off of a yokai. It's based off the Onagumo, I think, the spider ladies. It wears its inspiration a lot less on its sleeve than some of the other yokai monsters, kind of like in line with Bishaten and the Tengu, where if you're looking for the inspirations, you can see them, but they're not super apparent. The big thing is kind of the silhouette of Rakna Kadaki, especially when it is fully webbed up and encased in webbing, it kind of looks like a dress, which you traditionally kind of see the Onagumo depicted in. And I think that's neat. I think that's cool. But the big thing about Rakna Kadaki that I really appreciate is how this thing moves, especially compared to, fighting Nursilla yesterday and then Rakna Kadaki today. I really appreciate how no two spider monsters, I guess there are only, two main spider monsters in the series right now, but, I really appreciate how neither of them feel too similar, right? When you're fighting a flying wyvern, you know what to expect. Just because, a lot of the times they share very similar moves. Fighting a Rathian is not too much different than fighting an Espinos, except for the few things that Espinos, brings to the table that Rathian doesn't, and vice versa. But for the most part, they share a lot of similar moves. They act the same in general, but, both Nursilla and Rakna Kadaki operate very differently from each other. Nursilla's a lot more acrobatic, it jumps around a lot, it's a lot speedier, whereas Rakna Kadaki is more lumbering. It's a little bit slower, it doesn't move as quickly, its attacks are a lot more stationary, and its movement is a lot more focused on throwing its weight around than it is nimble repositioning. And I love that. I don't know if I really clocked that when I was playing Rise for the first time, but fighting Nursilla and then Rakna back-to-back like this really helped that shine. I talked about the movement a little bit and how it throws its weight around. I think my favorite thing Rakna Kadaki does is it will shoot out strands of web and then drag itself across the battlefield on that web. And I visually absolutely love that design choice. I love that is one of the main ways that it repositions and it zooms across the battlefield. Because in a game like Rise, the monsters have to keep up with the hunters. They have to be, either just as fast or have something to account for the difference in speed, in order to keep it from being, completely one-sided. And even then, one of the big complaints with Rise, and I agree with it to an extent, is that Rise feels very one-sided in favoring the hunters. Especially base Rise. Sunbreak felt a little bit more like a real, match. Base Rise was just a wallop. And that can sometimes make, big, slower monsters hard to do in a game like Rise, but I think, having Rakna Kadaki fling itself across the battlefield, using its weight to propel it, instead of just, being a fast monster, I think that was a really good choice in terms of, keeping it speedy, while still making it feel like a slower, bulkier, lumbering monster. Rakna Kadaki, one of the big gimmicks that it has is it will, weaponize its children. It will fling the little baby Raknas at you. They will do, combination attacks similar to the Azuchi in the Great Azuchi fight. But the thing that I like about the Raknas, they feel a lot more present in the fight. They feel more intentional in the moveset, rather than the Azuchi, who are just kind of there to be either, get in the way of your attacks, so you occasionally miss the Great Azuchi that you're hitting, and maybe every now and again do one of the team-up attacks that Azuchi has. The Raknas, they are in the attacks a lot more, and they feel a lot more intentional in the attacks. Like, they all have animations for what they, like, for the specific things that they come out for. The downside is that can make it feel a lot more video gamey and less like a living, sentient creature. Because, like, I can buy that Rakna Kadaki is communicating to her kids, like, go, protect me, children. Attack this little shit. But the fact that they do it all in, like, unison and it's all coordinated and stuff, it feels very video game bossy more than, like, living creature. I think maybe, like, you'll see it happen a couple times here. The baby arachnas will fly out, and they will do, like, a fire breath kind of deal, and they all spread out, and they all do it at the same time. I think if it were more staggered, like, if one launched the fire breath, and then, like, maybe, like, even just, like, a fraction of a second later, one of the others started, and it was kind of staggered like that, that would make it harder to avoid. It would require a lot more skill to, like, weave in and out of the fire breaths. Or I guess in Rise you could just, like, jump over them with the wire bugs. It's really not a hard move to avoid. But, like, it would be a little bit more of a challenge if it were staggered instead of just all firing at once. Same thing with when the little arachnids do their, like, web, lob, mortar thing. Yeah, I like Rakna Kadaki. I think it's a fun monster. I think it's a cool design idea. I think it needed a little bit more time in the oven. It is not my favorite fight. I know that, like, a lot of people really like it. Earlier in the year, I was playing Rise with a friend of mine, and she was, like, the entire time we were playing, she was like, okay, where's Rakna Kadaki? When are we going to fight Rakna Kadaki? I want to fight the big spider. I want the cool armor from it, because its equipment is so dope. The big Keyblade, Charge Blade, I love it. It's great. 10 out of 10. No notes. And so I know a lot of people really like Rakna Kadaki. I enjoy it. I think it's fine. I just think I would like to see it do a little bit more. So I really want to see Rakna Kadaki come back. I don't think we're going to see it. The same thing I said with all of the yokai monsters. Because their design choices are so tied into that, like, that Japanese mythology that they were tapping into with Rise, I don't think we're going to see Rakna in a game like Wilds. At least not what I've seen of it. Unless we get a very, like, Japan, Asia-inspired zone in, like, Monster Hunter Wilds, but I don't see that happening. They seem to be going, like, Australia for Wilds. So I don't think we're going to see Rakna Kadaki in Wilds. I think it's going to show up in a future game, though, because a lot of people really like it. I think people liked Pyre Rakna Kadaki more. I disagree. I like regular Rakna Kadaki a lot more than Pyre Rakna Kadaki because I just didn't like the switch from Fire to Blast. I feel like they could have done more with it, and it just felt like the same fight again. Hot take, maybe. I don't know. But I think we are going to see Rakna Kadaki in a future game, but not in Wilds. I'm going to say a 0 to 1 out of 10 for returning in Wilds, and a 7 or 8 for returning in a future game. Thank you all so much for watching. Please stick around until the end of the hunt if you can. As a reminder, please do not, in the comments, say anything about if I am right about my predictions for Monster Hunter Wilds, anything like that. I don't want to know. I am spoiler-free. I have been spoiler-free for months, and I've only had 2 monsters that are going to be in the game, aside from the first couple trailers, spoiled for me. So please, 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 if you know any the monsters that are going to be in it, I don't want to know. Until I am playing the game in February. That's the whole point of this series, is me speculating and just having fun. So let me have fun. Thank you all again, though, so much for watching. Stick around till the end of the hunt if you can. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. And until next time, I'll see you next time.